Hi everyone. So far in the Goosebumps R.L. Stine, the Abominable Snowman in Pasadena, we are going to chapter 14, and in chapter 12 and 13, they were going up the mountain rise, and they were hearing strange noises. Jordan played a practical joke where he made a huge footprint that was not real. But Arthur the guide still thinks the abominable snowman is real and they shouldn't be playing around. Well, that night, the next day, they were going hiking towards where the abominable snowman is, and they heard a noise. The dogs got really scared, and Arthur said we should turn back. Dad said no. But finally, after much convincing, they finally all turned back. It's about to, and then all of a sudden, Nicole and Jordan were supposed to try to sleep, but they couldn't. So they go outside and they find out that Arthur is trying to leave and they are scared. Dad is at the stream taking pictures. So let's read to find out. Chapter 14. Nicole and I chased after the sled, watching it growing tinier and tinier. Arthur, come back! He's got our food, I cried. We couldn't let him get away. We ran as fast as we could, our boots falling deep into the snow. The sled climbed over a tall ridge of snow. Stop! Stop! Nicole screamed. Please! We can't keep up with the dogs, I gasped. We have to try, Nicole cried frantically. We can't let Arthur leave us here. The sled disappeared over the top of the ridge. We clawed our way up. The snow slid under our feet. By the time we reached the top, Arthur, the dogs, were far ahead of us. We watched in horror as they quickly disappeared across the tundra. Exhausted, I collapsed in the snow. They're getting away, I choked out. Jordan, get up, Nicole pleaded. We can't catch him, I moaned. Then Nicole said in a small voice, where are we? I stood up and gazed around. Snow, snow, snow. All around us, nothing but snow. No landmarks, no sign of the cabin. Clouds covered the sun. The wind picked up. Snow began to fall. I had no idea where we were. Which way is the cabin? I asked in a shrill voice. Which way did we come? We scanned the horizon and the falling snow. I didn't see the cabin anywhere. Nicole tugged on my arm. The cabin is that way. Let's go. No, the snow came down harder and faster, stinging my eyes. I shouted into the wind. The cabin's the other way. That's not the way we came. Look, Nicole yelled, pointing down. Our tracks. We'll just follow them home. We started down the ridge following the ruts we'd made in the snow. The wind howled, growing stronger. We followed our footprints, and for a short while it was so hard to see in the falling snow, all white and gray, the world, the whole world, white and gray. Nicole peered at me through the thick curtain of snow. I can hardly see you, she shouted. We crouched low, searching for our footprints. They're gone, I cried. The snow had already covered them up. Nicole clutched my arm. Jordan, I'm getting scared. I was getting scared too. But I didn't tell Nicole. We'll find the cabin, I assured her. Don't worry. I bet Dad's looking for us right now. I wished I believed it myself. The wind pleaded with us hard, icy snow. I squinted in the wind. Nothing but white. White on white, white on gray. Don't let go of me, I shouted to Nicole. What? I said, don't let go of me. We could easily lose each other in the storm. She tightened her grip on my arm to show she understood. I'm so cold, she shouted. Let's run. We tried to run through the snow, stumbling against the wind. Dad, we called out. Dad. I had no idea where we were going, but I knew we had to go somewhere. Look, Nicole cried, pointing through the thick snow. I think I see something. I stared as hard as I could, but I didn't see anything. Nicole pulled me along. Come on, she shouted. We ran blindly. Suddenly, the ground gave way under our feet. Still holding on to Nicole, I felt myself sucked down under the snow. Okay, chapter 15. Down we fell, down into the freezing white. The snow rushed up, swirled all around us, and buried us. Another crevice, I thought, another deep pit in the snow, much deeper than the first. We both cried out loud as we landed, tangled up in each other. Get off! Nicole shrieked. Where are we? Get off! Feeling dazed, I struggled to my feet. Then I grabbed both my her hands and tugged her up. Oh no, Nicole groaned. We both stared up to the top. I could barely make out the gray of the sky, high above our heads, and all around us, high walls of snow. Powdery snow that blew down on us. I peered up to the top of the pit. Chunks of snow broke off in the icy walls. They made soft thuds as they landed beside us on the snowy pit floor. We're trapped down here, Nicole wailed. Dad will never find us, never. I grabbed the shoulders of her coat. A chunk of snow fell off the pit wall and landed on top of my boots. Try to stay calm, I told her, but my voice trembled as I said it. Calm? How can I stay calm? She demanded shrilly. Dad will find us, I said. I wasn't sure I believed it. I swallowed hard, trying to fight down my panic. Dad! Nicole screamed. She cupped her hands around her mouth, raised her head towards the sky, and screamed at the top of her lungs. Dad! Dad! I clapped a mitten over her mouth. Too late. I heard a low rumbling. The rumbling became a roar as the snow walls began to crack and crumble down and crumble down on us. Trembling in horror, I knew what was happening. Nicole had started an avalanche. Chapter 16. As sheets of snow tumbled down on us, I grabbed Nicole. I pushed her against the pit wall. Then I flattened myself against the wall, too. The snow roared down. I pressed myself tight against the wall, and to my shock, the wall gave way. Oh, I let out a startled cry. Nicole and I tumbled through the side of the pit. We stumbled forward into the total darkness. I heard a crash behind us. My heart pounding. I turned in time to see the pit fill up. Snow piled over the opening in the wall. Nicole and I were sealed in, shut in this dark hole. Our way out was gone. The pit was gone. We crouched in the dark tunnel like opening, trembling, gasping in fright. Where are we? Nicole choked out. What do we do now? I don't know. I grabbed the wall. We seemed to be in a narrow passageway. The walls around us were made of rock instead of snow. My eyes adjusted to the darkness. I could see a dim light at the end of the passageway. Let's see what's down there, I urged Nicole. We crawled on our hands and knees through the passage towards the light. The passage ended. We stood up. We found ourselves in a big cave. The top of the cave towered high above our heads. Water trickled slowly down one of the walls. A dim glow came from somewhere near the back. The light must be coming from outside, Nicole said. That means there's a way out of here. We crept slowly through the cave. The only sound I could hear was the drip, drip, drip of the melting icicles. Soon we'll be out of here, I thought. Jordan, she whispered, look. On the floor of the cave, I could make out a footprint, a gigantic footprint, bigger than the fake one I'd made in the snow that morning. 5 of my shoes could fit inside that footprint. I took a few steps and saw another. Nicole grabbed my arm. Do you think it? She stopped. I knew what she was thinking. We traced the giant footprints across the cave floor. They led us straight to a shadowy corner in the back, and I stopped. I glanced up. Nicole gasped. We both saw it at the same time. The creature, the abominable snowman. He loomed over us. He stood upright like a human, covered in brown fur. Black eyes stared out of an ugly face, half human, half gorilla. He wasn't that tall, about a head taller than me, but he seemed huge. His body was thick and powerful, with gigantic feet and fur covered hands as big as baseball gloves. We're trapped, Nicole stammered. She was right. The entrance behind us had been blocked by the avalanche. There was no way we could slip past that giant creature. No way. The abominable snowman glared down at us. Then it started to move. Okay, so that is chapter 14 through 16. Oh my goodness. So they are stuck in a snow crevice way deep underground. And because Nicole was screaming, it created an avalanche. And now they are in the cave with Abominable Snowman. What do you think will happen next? We'll have to read to find out.